Hello, I'm James Ezimoha. Welcome to African News, where we bring you the latest updates from across the African continent. Let's dive in. A light aircraft crash near Malindi Airport in Kenya has claimed the lives of 3 people on the ground, though all 3 individuals on board the aircraft survived the incident. Authorities are investigating the cause as locals call for improved safety measures in the area.
A tragic accident occurred near Malindi Airport in Kenya on Friday when a light aircraft crashed, killing 3 people on the ground. The Cessna 172, operated by Kenya Aeronautical College, was on a training flight when it developed mechanical issues shortly after takeoff. The aircraft struck a motorcycle on the Malindi-Mombasa highway, resulting in the deaths of the rider, a woman, and an infant. The pilots survived with minor injuries. Witnesses to the crash described the horrific scene when the aircraft struck the motorcycle, urging authorities for improved safety measures around the airport.
The aircraft wing knocked into the woman, cutting off her head. She was on the motorbike with the rider. The aircraft immediately caught fire, but the pilots managed to escape. They have been evacuated to hospital.
I would like to urge the airport authorities to enhance safety within this area. They shouldn't assume that safety is within the airport confines alone. This whole area is a danger zone, especially where aircrafts come and land. So safety is a must in this area.
The Kenya Civil Aviation Authority is now investigating the cause of the crash.
Rwanda's President Paul Kagame has accused the Democratic Republic of Congo of derailing peace talks meant to end the violence in Congo's east. Kagame says a planned summit to address the M23 insurgency was undermined by Congo's repeated rejection of agreed-upon terms.
In a press conference on Thursday, President Paul Kagame expressed frustration over the collapse of a December summit meant to bring peace to eastern Congo. He claimed that Congolese ministers initially agreed to terms, but the DRC's minister would later backtrack after making phone calls. Kagame emphasized that any resolution must also address the presence of anti-Kigali FDLR rebels in Congo.
The meeting did not happen because, again, it wasn't the appearance there that was the most important thing. It was what was taking us there and how it is being addressed that was more important. The summit was to take place. There had been technical people meeting, discussing, and ministers meeting, DRC, Rwanda, and Angola. The technical people would agree things, and then it comes to ministers. What the technical people agreed, half of it is rejected. Then there was insistence, no, we must go there and sign, and sign something. Not even to have another discussion, because I don't think there was even need for that to happen. So that's what killed the summit. So it's not Rwanda that killed the summit, it's actually DRC.
Venancio Mondlane has returned to Mozambique from self-imposed exile, defying the results of the disputed October election. His return has already sparked protests, with security forces using tear gas to disperse supporters.
Mozambique remains in the grip of political unrest after the disputed October 9th election, as opposition leader Venancio Mondlane returned to Mozambique on Thursday from a self-imposed exile. He claims to be the rightful winner of the election, despite the ruling Frelimo party's victory being upheld by the country's top court.
I don't care what I will go through, but I'm going to Mozambique. I'm here to prove that I didn't leave Mozambique out of fear. I swear on my honor to serve the Mozambican homeland and its people. I swear on my honor to respect the constitution and the laws, to use all my energies, physical, psychological, intellectual, and even emotional, for the benefit of this land, so that in 5 years or 10 years, it becomes one of the greatest nations in the world. I say all this in my capacity as the elected president.
Digo tudo isto na qualidade de presidente eleito.
Meanwhile, the United Nations has expressed concern over the violence and called for leaders to engage in peaceful dialogue to resolve the crisis.
The Secretary General takes note of the announcement of the Constitutional Council of Mozambique regarding the outcome of the general elections held on 9 October 2024. He continues to follow developments closely. The Secretary General is concerned about the post-election violence which has resulted in loss of lives and the destruction of public and private property. He urges all political leaders and relevant national stakeholders to diffuse tensions, including through meaningful dialogue, legal redress, refrain from the use of violence, and redouble efforts to seek a peaceful resolution to the ongoing crisis.
Mondlane had left the country saying he thought his life was in danger following October's disputed presidential election that sparked deadly protest, according to reports. His return comes ahead of next week's swearing-in of Daniel Chapo as president.
Ghana's newly elected government may seek additional funding from the International Monetary Fund to help stabilize its economy. This is according to Finance Minister-designate Cassil Otto-Forsen. The proposal comes as Ghana continues to recover from a debt crisis and restructuring process. Forsen, appointed by President John Dramani Mahama after his election victory in December, emphasized that the government is committed to working with the IMF while also exploring other sources of financing. The cocoa-producing nation is nearing the end of a painful debt restructuring process after defaulting on most of its external debt in 2022. The new government plans to cut public spending to control inflation.
We are committed to work with the IMF program, with the IMF. But we also want to ensure that we can raise financing, additional financing, working with IMF and other domestic international partners to increase our financing, because the over-reliance on treasury bills and others hasn't been very helpful. Whilst the world price is going up, whilst the cedi is depreciating against the US dollar, and the fact that the cocoa farmer should be the one to benefit. The cocoa farmer is not benefiting. And if they don't benefit, they will have no incentive to cultivate the crop. So, give and take, this is the time to even legislate the percentage of farm gate of FOB price that will go to the farmer in the form of a farm gate price. Because currently inflation has been stubborn. And inflation, we are doing something around 24-25%. It is only right that we push to reduce inflation to either a single digit, plus or minus 2%. It's something that we have to look at in the shortest possible time. So that is number one goal, front-loaded spending-based fiscal consolidation.
China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi has concluded his annual New Year tour of Africa with a visit to Nigeria's capital, Abuja. During his visit, he emphasized strengthening China-Nigeria partnerships as part of a broader initiative from the recent Beijing summit.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi arrived in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on Thursday, marking the conclusion of his annual New Year tour of Africa. During his visit, Wang emphasized the importance of implementing agreements made at the recent Beijing summit of the China-Africa Cooperation Forum, with a particular focus on advancing modernization partnerships between China and Nigeria. In his discussions, Wang Yi underscored China's intentions to strengthen its relationship with Nigeria, Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Tugar also expressed the country's unwavering support for China's initiatives on the global stage.
My visit to your country this time is both a continuation of the tradition of Chinese foreign ministers making their first overseas trip to Africa at the beginning of each year, and is also an opportunity to consult with African friends on how to implement the key agreements reached at the Beijing summit of the China-Africa Cooperation Forum. In particular, we aim to work together to realize the 10 partnership initiatives for China-Africa modernization, ensuring their implementation in Nigeria while injecting new meaning into the comprehensive strategic partnership between China and Nigeria.
Your Excellency would always be certain of Nigeria's commitment to supporting the One China principle and assured of our continued support for China at the international stage.
Farmers in Kenya are using artificial intelligence to transform their farming practices and increase yields. Experts say this technology could offer hope for small-scale farmers across Africa who face significant challenges from climate change and food insecurity.
In Western Kenya, farmers are using artificial intelligence to diagnose crop diseases and pests, boosting their harvests and income. The technology, developed by non-profit organization Planet Village, provides real-time solutions. Farmers say it's helped them increase their yields over 40 times, taking them from 5 bags to 200. This innovative approach could be a game changer for smallholder farmers across Africa, where farming practices are facing growing challenges due to climate change and food insecurity. Plant Village has been leading the way in using AI for agriculture in Kenya, and a representative from the organization shared the broader vision behind these efforts.
49% of the AIs being deployed in Africa are based on agriculture. And the reason why we are focusing on agriculture is because of the increased population and also the challenges that are being brought by climate change. You'll see that there's a lot of pests and diseases that are emerging and are affecting our crops. And we want to make sure that we provide solution. We want to make sure that farmers have access to this solution so that they can increase the yield of their crops for them to be sustainable and food secure.
With AI showing promising results, many hope this technology will continue to help smallholder farmers across Africa overcome challenges and improve crop production.
That's all we have for today on Africa News. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to A News.